Let's look at the Kirkpatrick model, which was invented by Mr. Donald Kirkpatrick. And this model is a 4-level framework for evaluating the effectiveness of training. To some extent, all organizations invest in training for their workers. But do we really take the time to evaluate the effectiveness of these training courses that are provided, whether there's actual return on investment? It is very important to determine this. And the first level is what we call reaction. So when you provide a training course, be it safety related, be it behavioral related, be it leadership or management related, you determine the satisfaction of the delegates or the learners through a training evaluation. This is where you give them feedback forms after the training session for them to provide feedback on their satisfaction of the training, which usually measure how the trainer or facilitator performed, whether the training outcomes were covered, whether the training outcomes matches with their goals, and so on and so forth. So this is the first stage, and it's important to measure that. Once that is successful, the next step is to determine whether there is learning or learning actually took place. And how do you determine that? Mostly this is done through some form of assessment. It can be theory assessment, it can be practical assessment, it can be demonstration, it can be questions, and the kind of feedback you provide to the trainer during the training, they can take all those as part of the assessment system. It can be role plays that were performed, it can be small group workshops during the training program. These are all used to determine whether learning actually took place. So for example, if you come out with a score of independent score of 70, 80, 100%, then it really goes a long way to show or tell that learning has taken place. The learners have understood because knowledge has been gained and skill have been acquired, right? Now, the next step is to determine or to look at the behavior. Whatever learning that has taken place, whether it has impacted on the behavior of the person. For example, let's say the purpose of the training or the objective of the training was to address rising number of incidents in the organization, or it is to address time management or conflict management. So once learning or skill acquisition has taken place, the next is to see that this impact on behavior. So at the end of the day, what we are expecting to see is that that if it is about time management, that reports are being delivered in time, projects are being completed in time, and so on and so forth. Then you can say that learning or behavior has been impacted. Or if it has to do with rising number of incidents, then you see because behavior has changed, the workers now know how to prevent incidents from happening. You see that there's a decline in incident. Or if it is about the number of conflicts that occurred in the organization, you see that those numbers are also coming down. And then we can say that the learning or the training that has been provided has impacted on behavior. Now, the last step of the Kirkpatrick model looks at the results, okay? How it impacts on business goals, So for example, we can use the example of late project deliveries again based on time management training. Then you see that the project managers or project engineers are not delivering projects in time, and because they are delivering them in time, it has impacted on cost also. You see that projects are being delivered within cost, and then stakeholder satisfaction has gone up. So you see that the overall business goals are also achieved because of this, So it is important that in every organization, we go through these 4 stages of Kirkpatrick framework to determine reaction, learning, behavior, and results. It is not easy, especially the 3rd and 4th level. Now, let me also state that um, between the level 2, when learning has taken place, and then the behavior, it is very important to allow time. For example, if I learn a new thing today about how to manage my time, you don't expect that tomorrow the results will be obvious just like that. So you need to allow some time, at least 3 months, before you can measure the behavior. That is where, as a supervisor, if you had sent this person for training, let's say if it's about time management, you'll be able to see that yes, the time management has improved. He's coming to work in time, his projects are being delivered in time, because whatever principles, whatever skills that were acquired in the training has been applied. And how do we do the measurement process? Usually, there's a small survey where, after this period that has been given for the measurement, the learner respond whether the training actually had impact after acquiring the skills or the knowledge. And then the learner supervisor or the employee supervisor is also required to answer questionnaires to validate whether there has been any improvement regarding the training impact on the behavior. So once these 2 people, the learner and his or his supervisor, is able to genuinely or honestly say that, yes, there has been an impact, then definitely you are going to see the next level of results on the organization. Okay. So I encourage you to measure this. If you don't have the internal capabilities, it's important to use a consultant. There are so many consultants in the system that can do this for you, but it's very important to measure these 4 levels of the 1st and 2nd is okay. It can easily be done within the organization, but the 3rd and 4th can be very complex. And if you don't have the capabilities, use a consultant to support you. Thank you very much for watching, and share this video with your comments and subscribe.